What's up, everybody? Let's get it going.
Caleb, it was a fourth down, let's say 4th and 7, somewhere towards the Lions side of the ball. You look frustrated when you all elected to kick it. What was going through your mind during that? Were you hoping that you all would go for it then?
No, I was kind of frustrated that just being in that position. We were already down by a lot, and second down, we ran the ball, and we didn't get much or any. I think it was actually a 1 to 2 yard negative play. So I was just more frustrated with that. Just now I'm in a 3rd and I don't remember the exact down, but it was like a 3rd and 9 or something like that. And it's just especially when you get down in the red zone, it's just it's always tough in the red zone. It's one of the toughest spots to score and throw the ball. And so when you get in that position, it just makes it tougher. And I was more frustrated, with that in that situation.
Caleb, the touchdown to Keenan, can you walk us through kind of what you saw there?
Yeah, so right before the snap, I saw obviously that they had a too-high show, and right before the snap, I yelled to Keenan because I was thinking that it was going to be cover 2, and Keenan ran a great route. He ran it kind of perfect, and we've practiced this route many times, and we were just on the same page right before the snap, threw a good ball. Keenan ran away from a couple people and scored.
I know you obviously take the win over anything, but when you look at that throw to Rowan 4th down, when you're breaking these things down, how do you kind of take those individual moments versus what you would prefer for the team? I mean, can you still see the growth and understand that you obviously want the team to be better?
Yeah, obviously. You obviously can see the growth. If we're talking about myself, there's even from last game, some of the routes and some of the things like that. Just believing in the guys, believing in the concepts that are being called, and then throughout this whole season, the growth that I would say I've had, and then the growth that we've had on offense, and being able to fight through all of what's been going down for us, of coaches being fired in the middle of the season, and different coaches being promoted in different ways, and then so I think the fight. I think we got to do better with execution. Obviously, the penalties are, they shoot you in the foot, and it's tough. The NFL is tough. Winning games is tough. I don't even know how many wins they have, but I think they only have 2 losses over there. And so, going versus a team like that, you can't have those moments. You can't, whether it was the fumble, the first fumble between Rome and I. Me putting it all the way right in the middle, so that's not near his hip, and things like that, so he can clamp down on it. And then the second one, obviously understanding that a bunch of guys around you protecting the football, the penalties, shooting ourselves in the foot. So obviously there's been growth, but today I will say that it wasn't us growing. In that sense, we did a lot of things good, but we also did a lot of things bad to put our defense in bad situations. To not help us in scoring points and things like that, and putting even ourselves in bad situations on 2nd and longs and 3rd and longs, and just helping out the other team.
Caleb, the last 4 games, you guys have been down 2 scores pretty quick.
Yep.
By the end of the first quarter. How do you get a sense of? This, when you're down 14 or 21, the defense is going to play you a certain way, in a way that they might not if the game's more competitive. How do you get a sense for you in terms of what works and what doesn't when you're playing a defense that is nursing a big lead?
Yeah, I think regardless of how the defense plays, regardless of what the plays are called for us offensively, we got to go out there and execute. That's the simplest way to dumb it down. Regardless of what they're doing on that other side of the football, whatever the other coach is calling, obviously there's plays that are better versus certain defenses and all of this, but we got to find dirty yardage for when plays are maybe not the best call versus the defense over there or their scheme. And then, when we have the opportunities to execute and, hit for big plays or, really efficient plays and things like that, we got to do that. So, whatever they call over there is whatever they call, and how they manage the game or how they play us when we go down, we got to find ways to execute early and often, and, we got to keep that consistent.
You said a couple of months ago that these snaps are valuable for you even if the team's losing by a lot. Do you still feel that way?
Yeah, every snap is valuable. There's so many different situations that happen throughout games that you can learn from and that I've learned from this year. And so, like earlier, this game we went to empty, and it was the fourth down that we ended up going for it. Threw it to Keenan on third down. He ended up getting, a good positive gain, enough for us to go for it. That's one that, was pointed out to me in the game about, just playing efficient football and playing and understanding, the situation and understanding not trying to make a big play when defenses are trying to drop out and things like that. So, I think every snap for myself and for this team is valuable.
How much difficulty does it add when you lose two offensive linemen as early as you guys did in this game? And likewise, how did you feel like the offensive line played, while dealing with a lot of guys kind of moving parts around there?
Yeah, I think obviously it's tough when you lose, two of your starters. That's been your starters for the whole season. And so, I told Braxton love him and all of that. Tevin was still able to walk around, but dealing with his injury and things like that. So it's tough, but we got to find ways to it's a part of football. It's probably the worst part about football is the injuries and your big players going down and things like that. But it is a part of football, and we got to find ways as a team to have that next guy up and go in and execute and do the right thing. And that even means for me when we get a lineman in like we did, understanding that this is first snap and we've been in the game and the D line is flowing, offensive line is flowing, and this is first snap, so getting the ball out of my hands and things like that. So it's there's like I spoke about before, so many different situations that happen in football and throughout the games, that I have to take into account, but also everybody else.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you. The Bears.